Well, folks, I don't even know where to start. By the way, a massive thank you to those who joined us on the watch along. My throat is just about recovered from all this screaming. But I mean, Malmo 0, Rangers 2. It was a completely dominant performance. Malmo didn't have a single shot on target. We could have easily scored 6 goals. It was an outstanding away European performance. I can't really pick out any negatives, which for a change is good. And I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by Mark, Ian, and Robert as we're going to go through the game. And of course, everybody tuning in to watch as well. So thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you get liking and subscribing and sharing the podcast about and all that good stuff. Robert, I'm going to start with you. I don't even know what direction to take this in the night, but that was a perfect away European performance.
I absolutely thought it was very much what we've been akin to over the last couple of seasons away in Europe. We owed Malmo that. It could have been 5 tonight. It's a really good result away in Europe. I think Proper's best game. We'll probably get into that a bit more detail later on. Diamandi looking more like himself. It should have been a cricket score really. So it's 3 points. It's a great night's work. The progress looks apparent. So it's well done, Phil Clement.
I mean, yeah. The manager, Ian. I mean, I'm struggling here. I don't really know where to go after that watch along. But there was we were saying before the game, why is he playing Casemiro at left back? Why is he not putting him into right and bringing Fraser in or bringing Dujon Sterling into left back? Absolute credit to the manager.
Absolute credit to the manager. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. That's why we do this podcast and not sat in that seat that he sat in. I mean, I didn't get to see the team. I only knew the team when I turned the game on because I was still coming back from Cambridge at that point because the rain here has been absolutely biblical today. There's been flooding on the roads. It took me ages to get back. So I safely had the game on in the car and drove back and was watching, only caught the team as soon as the game started. So it was a bit of a shock seeing Big Dave or Casa or whatever you want to call him over there at left back. I wasn't expecting it because we talked about it, I think, on the morning rabble the other day, saying that it was going to be Sterling, but we would quite like to see Fraser play there. And bringing him in at left back, he didn't put a foot wrong all night either. So again, back to, as much credit as goes to Casa for his display, the manager having the confidence to do it, superb.
What's your thoughts on the performance, Mark? Did you expect that?
I thought it would have been a closer game, a lot closer game, but I felt like we've started to build a wee bit of momentum. So for me, I was thinking a 1-0 or maybe a 1-1. Wouldn't have won. But listen, I think that it was a great professional away performance. I don't know what else, how other way you can put it, because first half we were very good. We knew that they would come out flying in the second half, try to score a goal, and we defended really well, which is something I've not said for a Rangers team in probably four years, maybe even more than 4 years. So yeah, no, as I said, good professional performance, very good away European game, done really well.
Robert, if it's still a way about, we are screaming, right? But like a minute into the game, and what I took from this when I watched it back was the only reason that this happened was because of how we started and how intense that press was. And the Malmo left back had nowhere else to go. The only way he could go was back the way. He couldn't even play it inside because of Czerny, and I think it was Barron, or I could be wrong.
I think it's Tom Lawrence, maybe.
Tom Lawrence, sorry, Czerny and Lawrence. So much pressure on him, such a high press, and just play it out, man. Don't pass it back to your goalkeeper like that.
Listen, he's made the boo-boo, but you've still got work to do. Dessler's pounces on it, looks lively. See, when he gets round the goalie, you're just thinking, come on, big man, hit the target. And then it hits the post. I think we're all probably at that point, head in hands, but falls kindly to Bijrami, and he's got a tap in. It's a great start. We go on about, starting well, starting quick, starting fast, and shows what they scored that quick in Europe for a long time. So, no, it was a great start. Absolutely loved it. And it became a bit of the theme of the night in terms of chances created. I thought we created chances well. It was just a case of maybe not taking them.
Well, I mean, yeah, we will come to that. We'll touch on that because we did create loads of sitters, not even chances, sitters. But even for the first goal coming obviously so early, it would be so easy to sit here and go, he got the ball in the goalkeeper, but he's hit the post. But he was alive and he was alert for when the defender made that mistake.
And that's what you want your striker to do. You need him to be on his toes and ready to go. I mean, he could have used the excuse that Igaman wasn't on the bench tonight to just take his foot off the gas maybe a little bit, knowing there's no pressure on him. Because I think having Igaman there has kind of spurred Dessers on a bit. But now he kept his eye on it. He knew what he wanted to do. He got there. I was sort of one eye on it, one eye on the A14 at that point. When he took it around the goalkeeper, I just assumed he'd scored. And then I just seen Bayrami wheeling away and had to wait for the sort of replay and get a chance to look at it. But yeah, he's done credit to him. He's done well. He's been there and he did it all night. It wasn't just that goal. There's bits from Dessers all night. He could have easily had a hat trick tonight, but in true Dessers fashion, he managed not to. But man, he put the work in to get it there. And Bayrami as well needed to be alert to the fact that ball might not go in, and he was there to tuck it away. So absolutely superb start.
I forgot to note down the times, right? And you know where I'm sitting right now in my head? I can't even remember if it was all the first half or there was one in the second half, Mark. But there was at least, because there was no VAR tonight, and if anybody can confirm this in the comments, apparently it just wasn't in use because it's not in use in Sweden, right? But there was at least 2 instances for me, Mark, where we should have had a penalty.
I think there was a lot of wrestling in the box. I think the big Dessers get kind of pulled a bit a few times. I think even if you look at the slow motion replay for our second goal, you can see he's got a handful of shirt there. I think it was a lot going about. I know they've talked about it in commentary. For me, if it's a foul, it's a foul. If that's outside the box, it's a foul. So for me, it's got to be a penalty. But they seem to let these things slide over and over and over again. That's kind of wrestling in the box thing, and I think that as soon as they start clamping down on that, they will stop. They will stop doing it. Simple as that. They know they're getting away with it, so that's why they're doing it.
Mark, do you think they've gone the other way with it though, with VAR in these penalty decisions? Just this time last season, they were giving penalties for anything. Now you can't see higher penalty.
You could be right. But for me, as I said, if that's proper manhandling, for me, it's obstruction. Stop the player moving towards the ball. Simple as that. So for me, it's a penalty. It's a foul outside the box. So why is it not a penalty? But until they start giving them, they're going to keep doing it because they know they're getting away with it, especially in the box.
Well, the one on Dessers, Robert, especially. I mean, he's nearly pulled the shirt off his back. Now, I get if they're trying to make they don't want everything to be a penalty. I get that, but there does come a point where you need to go. I mean, ref, what can Dessers actually do here? He's having the shirt ripped off his back.
I think Coisty makes a great point in comms when he was kind of saying, look, if they're not looking at the ball and they're just doing everything to stop the guy from getting there, then it's got to be looked at. It's got to be a foul, and that was the case certainly there. So, look, Mix. I was under the impression the VAR was in use, but it didn't feel like it at times. So, I'm not obviously privy to any audio, but usually the commentators can tell you kind of what's going on if they're reviewing it and stuff. They get to hear wee bits and pieces. So, interesting to see if anything comes that. But certainly, I thought we were due 2 penalties in that first half, not just the one. So, I thought they were very fortunate, and probably a lot won't get made because obviously we've come away and we've got the 3 points. But certainly, if the game had been tighter and it was down to these margins, then I'm sure the manager would be quite vocal at full time.
Yeah, 100%. Just really want to quickly say Jim Sloan has gifted 5 Rangers Rebel podcast memberships. Thank you so much, Jim. That's not the first time he's done that as well, by the way. Really, really appreciate it, Jim. And Lockeye Reviews put in a super chat. Ian, I'll take this to you. I am very pleased with the performance levels tonight. I thought the team played well. This is not negativity, as I thought Dessers got involved and played well, but his finishing is woeful. His finishing, we can discuss his finishing if you want, Ian, but I thought his all-round game tonight in terms of he's closing down, he's securing the ball, bringing others into play, passing. I thought he was excellent.
Overall, he was absolutely superb tonight. Like you said, there was a few times tonight actually he got the ball and he ran with it, and he actually looked like he had a bit of pace. I don't know if that's because the Malmo defenders are really slow, but he looked like he had a bit of pace behind him as well tonight. So maybe because of last year, he was injured when he came in, and it's taken him a while, and now he's at that full pre-season. We're seeing the best part of Dessers' fitness now. But yeah, definitely some of the touches tonight, like some of the quick one-touch little flicks around the corner and that sort of stuff for people to run onto, were just brilliant. Yes, his finishing's woeful. We know that. We've had a season and a quarter already of Desta's finishing. We know his finishing can be awful. But there's also times when his finishing can be absolutely top draw. And if he won for a save and an offside flag, they would have been talking about one hell of a finish from Dessers tonight. So, yeah, his finishing is woeful, but his overall play has improved a hell of a lot. And I can't be at all negative about him. It's the Dessers that we know can turn up. It doesn't do it consistently. And if we get more of this from him, he's going to have a hell of a season.
Yeah, and I'll come back to Desmond and Lockeye. Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Greatly appreciated. That first half mark as well, though. I thought Bayrami seems to be settling into that left wing position.
He looks a very good player, doesn't he? He looks very very energetic. He looks clever as well. Looks a lot of nice, neat passing, good movement. Looks as if he's going to be a fantastic signing. So just hope the thought going through my head was just hope he stays fit. Because you know what we're like. But yeah, it looks like a smashing player. It looks. I'm very much looking forward to seeing him playing as a 10. That's if we ever get a left-sided midfielder fit.
yeah, and I want to come on to talk about Tom Lawrence in a bit as well, because again, I thought Tom Lawrence was outstanding tonight. But KW has also put in a super chat. Thank you, KW. Watch along, great, made up with the performance troops too. The watch along was really fun, I must admit. Does get to the odd occasion where I might lose my voice, but yeah, it was fun. Me doing commentary, it's yeah, me doing commentary. Hit that like button. Let's get to 100. Yes, let's absolutely get to 100 likes, folks. We're on 73. We're nearly there. Let's get to 100 likes on the video, and then let's get to 150, and then let's keep moving on after that as well. Robert, just your thoughts quickly on Bayrami as well, because I want to touch on quite a lot of players tonight, so I don't want to stay on one player too long. He's very good with the ball at his feet. He created a few chances. He maybe could have even had another goal in that first half. And from what we're told, left wing's not his position.
I hope I make sense when I say this, right? But I feel like we've bought class. He looks like, almost the finished article. He's come in straight away. He's hit the ground running. He's not a project player by any stretch of the imagination. He's took you up a notch a wee bit on the park. Do you know what I mean? Everything he does quickly. He's positive. He's trying to play forward. He's trying to get in areas to hurt teams. So, yeah, listen, only just looking to see more of him and what we can get out of him. I know what you're saying. He's playing maybe in an unorthodox position on the left-hand side. He's more of a 10, but he's not bothered. He's getting into positions. He's scoring goals. Looks like he's really enjoying himself, trying to impose himself on games. I thought as well, him and Casemiro, they kind of dovetailed well at times, especially in the first half. So, no, he looks like a good player to play with, a good teammate. And as I say, looking forward to seeing a little bit more. I'm delighted he's got his goal as well, because that's a monkey off his back, isn't it? His first goal, that settles you in with the fans certainly as well, and he'll just keep motoring on.
Right, let's discuss this quickly, and then let's move on quickly, right? Because this was a fantastic result tonight, and I don't want to labour the point on this, Ian. Tavernier, right? There was a few things in the game that he done well. Don't get me wrong. There was a few last-ditch challenges and stuff like that he got right. But more often than not, I mean, I don't know if you noticed that every single 99% of their attacks were coming down half side. They were finding it quite easy to get in behind them. And I was just thinking, if we had a Casemiro on the left and the right, that wouldn't be happening.
Well, we would have if the left back wasn't suspended for a stupid red card that was never.
Even if Jeffy wasn't,
I know Tav would have started, but we have the option of having both of those two players starting. It's just going to be whether the manager's got the gumption to actually take Tav out of the team. Yeah, he had his good moments, but there were moments where your heart was in your mouth, and he has too many of them every single game. The guy they swapped the players over, and the guy that came on was having him as well. I think he had a little bit more success against the sub than he did against the guy who started. But there was a few instances, particularly in the second half, where he just walked by him and Tav just did nothing. I mean, he did have a good few bits, but I think there was one. I think he nearly gave you and Alex a heart attack with the ball in the middle of the pitch, and if it hadn't been for John Suter, the Malmo guys running in to score, And he's done that a couple of times this season already as well. I think he did it. Did he do it against Dundee as well in the cup game? So we all know that Tav's lost a step. We all know that Tav isn't the Tav of 2-3 seasons ago. But he's the captain and he's going to start unless the manager has the bottle to actually drop him out of the team. I know he subbed him for Casa last time, but we're all going to love Tav and we're going to understand what Tav done when Tav leaves. But there's got to be a point where you've got to, for his own sake, bring him out of the team. And I think we're getting there. But overall, his game, he did decent things. I mean, I know it technically it was a corner, but it wasn't given that way when he got the ball off the guy and then brought it down out of the air and then played it away. So he still has the moments, but I think his bad is outweighing his good at the moment.
I know, and I do want to put a bit of focus mark on the good that Tav done tonight, because it seems to be if you do one or two things wrong and you do the rest right with Tav, it's still just let's look at the negatives. He was easy to beat at times. He was definitely the weakest part of our defence tonight. But he also done some good.
I'm struggling to find some. Listen, I think his wee goals gave him a wee bit of lift. I think he was better tonight than he has been. Still no good enough as far as I'm concerned. Trying to look at his positives, I'm struggling. Couple of decent tackles here and there, but it was getting beat far too easily. It looked far too what's the word I'm looking for? Jittery. Looked jittery every time the winger got the ball. It looked apprehensive, and for me, that's not what you're after for a captain. It's not what you're after for a right back, especially when, like you said it, every single bit of kind of anything good that they done come down that left hand side, so Tav's side. I don't think he's going to drop him. I think we are where we are. I think he's at a level. I think that this is probably as high a level as he's going to get. I think that you go up against your Man U's and your Tottenhams and stuff like that, I think we're going to get found out massively, unless something drastic happens somewhere. But I think in Scotland, I think he'll be okay right back in Scotland, and I think that kind of level tonight probably okay, just I would think, but proper on the verge of getting made a fool of. So for me, I think you need to try and I've said it till I'm blue in the face. I think you need to try and kind of ease him out gently. That bring him off 60 minutes. Bring whoever, whether it be Sterling or the Dutch boy, bring him in at right back. Give him 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. Start the odd game here, an odd half here, and I think that's how you phase him out, rather than just go, do you know what, you're dropped. I think that he's done too much for this club for that to happen. But as Ian said there, he's in danger of ruining any sort of legacy he's going to get at this club. I know that there's a lot of ill feeling towards him, but I'm caught between a rock and a hard place there, because I feel sorry for him a bit, but then again I feel that he should be able to step up to the plate a little bit more. So for me, I think you need to phase him out gently, and I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's good enough anymore. I think you need to bring in youth, younger players, somebody that's going to kick on for the next 2, 3, 4 years. And I don't think that's Well, I know it's no Tavernier. You can tell by looking at him, it's no Tavernier.
I was on mute, damn it. I think you just need to look at the performance of, let's call him Casa, because I hate getting folks' names wrong. We'll give him a nickname. You look at Casa coming in at left back. He's not a left back. He's either a centre back or a right back, and he was impenetrable. He was absolutely outstanding. And yes, I got that word right, Robert. I could see you going, oh, we got that right, by the way. Fair play to him. Now, I was going to leave this question to a bit later, but I want to move back into the positives. Robert, and James Graham's asking, do you think you can see the team gelling a lot better? I think after that performance tonight, it's a clear yes.
Look, I think, we're on the lookout for progress, and tonight we got that. I think we can add in the Dundee game in the mix as well. I think you can see wee glimpses of where the team's trying to go. And this, you say, Casemiro, absolutely outstanding in terms of playing out of position. I know Mark had broke the news earlier in the chat that he played there a couple of times for Feyenoord and on a loan spell as well. However, he's primarily a right back or even a centre back at times. So whether you can get him in at right back and for a sustained period is probably another podcast in itself. But no, I thought there was positives to take, and I can see, to answer James's question, the team is gelling. You've got men in the middle of the pitch. I thought Diamandi was much more like it tonight in places. Connor Barron again, just another really steady performance. So and actually, do you know what? Tom Lawrence is starting to show bits that we saw from the Tom Lawrence that we signed. He's obviously, been heavily relied on now. He seems to be in every team. So, I do think we are seeing the team gelling. If I can quickly as well, defensively. Mark mentioned before the game about how well we defended, and Suter and Proper in particular. I thought Proper had his best game tonight. So hopefully that's a marriage made in heaven, and we start getting more clean sheets because we're racking them up now.
Well, John Suter is somebody who I want to touch on in a wee bit as well. I thought he was one of the best players on the park tonight, if I'm being brutally honest with you. But I will bring that up slightly later. What we will do is we will hear from Ross McCausland, who obviously got that second goal. We'll come back and talk about that in a minute, but let's hear what Ross had to say.
Ross, congratulations. That felt like a really good result for Rangers tonight. What's the mood in the dressing room?
Yeah, look, everyone's buzzing. That's a result we wanted to come here tonight and get, and to prove to everyone that we can come here and get results in Europe.
Yeah, a clean sheet, 2 goals. That's quite a statement to put down.
Yeah, definitely. The clean sheet's probably the main thing we want to, and obviously the 2 goals to seal the game and the one at the end as well. So look, we're all chuffed and happy, and move on to the next game.
I think it took you 7 minutes tonight. You were on that pitch to get that goal. What was your instruction when you came on?
I think just obviously keep it tight. I'm coming on, it's 1-0, and I want to just seal the game out, and if I get a chance to have a shot at goal and be direct and try and create something in a game, you need to be sharp coming into. So obviously I'm delighted to be able to come on and add a goal to tonight.
Yeah, did it feel like you needed that goal, but also the team needed it in that moment because you were under some pressure there in the second half?
I think, yeah, definitely. I always want the goal every time I play, but I think in terms of the game and the situation and the stage it's at during the game, the goal helps us a lot. It settles things down a wee bit. Maybe the game gets a wee bit frantic, and the goal to put us 2 goals ahead, seals the game for us.
Where do you think the team are at in terms of integration of new players and building this season?
I think just looking at tonight, that sort of tells everyone just from watching it, everyone's starting to gel together, and we're getting to that stage, where everyone's comfortable around each other and we know what we're going to do. So, between the starting 11 and the subs coming in and the players that even aren't here today, we have a good squad.
Ross, thank you. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just caught a comment there right at the end from Kay. Like, a man Robert looks like he just wants to burst out laughing all the time. Class. You care to explain yourself, Robert?
Just a kind of happy-go-lucky kind of guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, he's just a happy guy, to be honest.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know why people are calling you wee, because you're about 6'2".
Do you know what? See, when they said Wee Robertson, only my family call me Wee Robert. So if that is one of my family members, reveal yourself right now. When he said it piqued my attention. I thought, only my family members call me Wee Robert. But anyway, you might have just dropped on lucky. But just a happy-go-lucky guy, Kayla. There you go.
Unless he's in a bad mood, and then you just don't want to be anywhere near him because he's frightening. He's absolutely frightening. Ian Ross was talking there. We'll come to his goal in a wee second, but he was talking there about the integration of the team and how everybody's getting to know each other and how that's been visible in performances. That's what you want to hear.
What we want to hear is what we want to see.
Nancy, don't make me look stupid. There's people watching.
Is there? Damn. I didn't know. But yeah, I mean, we've all been raging that we've heard the manager say it's going to be October, November till we're going to see it. And as Rangers fans, we're all like, well, we haven't got till friggin' October or November to see it. We want to see it. And we want to see it now. But Ross is just alluding to the fact that you're now beginning to see what the manager said we would see, and you can see little signs here and there all over the park of it beginning to happen. It takes time. I think the stat was that we've had 16 players go out and 11 come in. So if you've got to try and integrate every single one of those players into this team, I know not all of them will be first teamers and that you'll see them in time. But if you've got to integrate these new guys into a new surrounding, a new country for the most part, and try and get them to gel and work together in the short space of time that we had. It's not easy. So you're now beginning to see it. Ross is quite right. You're beginning to see the integration of the team. It's the first time tonight where I've messaged, because I've talked to my daughter after the game who hasn't actually seen it. She knew the result. That I'm beginning to get a little bit excited about what is going to come. So I've ordered some more plates.
I was wondering where you were going to go with that. In terms of his goal, Mark, as Gassapuck says, he done well considering the guy did try and rip his shirt off. I mentioned this at the start of the season with Ross, that he's looking to take his man on a lot more, and he cuts inside really well. And the finish, see the way that he hits it and the way it goes, like it's not hit with Mark like full power. It reminded me kind of the Stephen Davis goal in the League Cup final, where he's hit it at a way that it's just went in off the perfect angle of the post and the keeper's no chance.
It's nothing like building a young man up. Talking about reminds you of Stephen Davis.
Oh, just the finish. Come on now. Come on, just the finish.
Jesus. Yeah. Listen, great finish, and I think probably his desire made the goal. That desire to push through, break through, and win that ball back. Once he got there, I think he kind of didn't believe how it could have just opened up like a Red Sea for him to hit it, but left foot as well. Great finish, absolutely great finish. Couldn't have hit it any better. So I'm over the moon for the wee man. I kind of said in a show probably at the start of the season when we spoke about Ross and how dip in form and stuff like that, and I'd kind of said to him, I'd made the point that he shouldn't be a first team starter. I don't know if you remember it. Should have been a first team starter. What he needs to be is he needs to come on and impact the game, and that's how he learns and that's how he'll progress. And for me, that's exactly what you're seeing now, because Czerny's your first team man, and McCausland's chasing him, and that for me that's brought his game up. The last couple of months, his game's come up another level as far as I'm concerned. He's looked really, really impressive when he's come on. He's looked like, if you remember when he first broke into the scene, he was dead direct and aggressive, and always tried to look forward. And I think that when he was a first team starter, through rather than necessity, rather than anything else, he started kind of trying to play safe and kept turning back and knocking the ball back, turning back and knocking the ball back. So
100%.
for me, I think that's exactly what's happening now. He's a chaser rather than the main man, and I think you're seeing him blossom as into the player that hopefully we all thought he was going to be. So for me, that's exactly the way I spoke about managing the boy. And listen, I'm over the moon for him. He deserved a goal, because, as I said, the last couple of times he's come on, he's looked really good. So I'm over the moon for him. Well done, me man.
Aye, absolutely. And Stephen Gillespie's put in a super chat as well. Thank you, Stephen. Anyone else think the wee man would have scored Czerny's chance? I don't know if he would have scored it, Robert. But what he has done now is he's gave the manager food for thought with regards to that position.
Look, I can't remember the game it was earlier on the season, but McCausland came on and had a left foot shot, just went, maybe one of the European games actually. And the manager said it was something they'd been working on in training. So clearly that's paying off, which is great. Like Mark says, he's trying to improve, trying to get himself back into the first team. I agree. Czerny's got the jersey. He's the experienced player. We've got him in from a top club in Europe. So until such times as maybe he gets a wee injury or McCausland scoring hat tricks every week, then that will probably stay the same. But I don't think you can really put him in the position to say, do you think he'd score Czerny's chance? There was still quite a bit to do. I think Czerny should have at least, hit the target, what the goalkeeper, but maybe just had too much time, too many touches. So listen, I don't think, as you say, you can't really judge him and say he would have scored that, but he does get his goal eventually. And he wasn't, Czerny was the only one missing chances. We missed numerous chances. We should have at least been at 4 or 5 and much more comfortable than waiting for McCausland to get that second one.
Well, absolutely. I mean, Bayrami's missed one, Dessers has missed one, Lawrence has missed one. There was quite a few, but I don't want to focus on them. I want to focus on the individual performances now, because after we went 2-0 up, Malmo still never really troubled us. And I really want to talk about John Souttar. He's had his critics, and rightly so, in the past for mistakes that have been made, etc. That's why he's turned his camera off. But I mean, 10 out of 10 tonight for John Souttar.
Absolutely. Him and Proper seem to have a bit of
Was
a partnership.
that a fake attempt at drinking something just to show off the mug?
No, I was going to drink it, and I knew your question was coming to an end, so I didn't want to make full of tea. See, professionalism. Yeah, Suter tonight. Anything good that came into that out of that centre back position tonight came from him. I know Proper had a decent game and probably one of his best games in a Rangers top, but every time that ball went in, it seemed to be magnetically drawn to Suter. He had a couple of lack passes, but that's part of his game. He's going to have the occasional one, but his defending, when it's that type of thing where if he feels like he's under siege, he's a superb defender. He was on the end of pretty much every cross they put into the box, getting rid of it, putting balls out for corners, getting balls away. We all know that he can get the ball down and run with it as well if needs be when the time's right. Again, I think his confidence is building because he's getting a regular run of games. He's not had, and if it happens now, it'll be all on me, but he's not had the injury that has stopped him from having a consistent run in the team. So maybe we're beginning to see the best of it. It's European games away from home, no matter where you go, are tough games. And he got through there tonight with flying colours. Hopefully he can continue doing that week in, week out.
I mean, Mark, Jock Blues saying Suter was my man in a match, and you couldn't really go far wrong if he got it.
Listen, there was a few of them in my book. There was a few of them that could quite easily have won it. But I thought, for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, Barron's been the outstanding player of the season so far. I can't rave enough about this wee guy. This wee guy's just come in. He wasn't even a starter for Aberdeen. And the levels that this wee guy's, I mean, it did not look out of place there. Bossing that midfield, pinging wee tight balls into wee tight short sharp passes into the centre of the park and looking for the ball back, dropping deep. Honestly, for me, it was my man of the match tonight. I know that he died a wee bit in the second half, but his first half performance was outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And somebody put the comments there about a future captain. See if the wee guy keeps playing the way he's playing. 100%, I agree with that as well. Big Suter, back to your original question. Big Suter, I think Big Suter gets stick, and like you said, rightly so. I think sometimes his concentration's not the greatest, but tonight he looked as if he concentrated on everything and he won everything, and he attacked the ball well. And to be fair, sometimes I think that Suter's a better player when he just defends. See if he doesn't try and bring the ball out and stuff like that and ping 30-yard balls here and there, which he's got in his locker, to be fair. But I think that if he just concentrates on defending and winning balls, getting his body in the way and marshalling defences, I thought he was outstanding tonight as well. But as I said, there could have been a few of them man of the match tonight. There really could have.
Give me 4 people who you think could have been man of the match. Just 4, Mark.
So Suter, I thought Big Proper was good. Barron, outstanding. I'm trying to think of another one. Do you know what? I think they were all there. I think every single person was probably an 8 out of 10. Some were 9s, but I think that's how close it was. I really do.
Right, well, I'm going to put 4 options and just nod if you agree with me with the 4 options that I'm going to put, right? So, Dessers, Suter, Casa, Viro, and Bayrami. Was there anybody else I can add into that? And I'll put a poll up for the people watching.
He was shouting for Conor Barnett.
Conor Barnett, I'll add. And you can only make 4 options, so the poll's up. That's it. So we've got a poll on the YouTube chat.
It's a democracy, we promise.
Man of the match. You've got 4 options: Dessers, Suter, Casemiro, or Bayrami. That's your 4 options. It'll be interesting to see at the end of the show how that vote goes. Robert, I actually thought, we're talking about Suter. Mark mentioned Proper. I thought it was excellent tonight. Casemiro on the left-hand side was a revelation. But our defending set pieces tonight was so much better than it has been as well.
Oh, yeah. Night and day. You got about John Suter. I think he's kind of come on to a game last couple of weeks since the international break in particular. I've hammered them, saying that I've not seen anything from him since he signed from Rangers. I hold my hands up and say that obviously if he can finally get a pairing next to Big Robin Proper, then I applaud him. It's not been noted that tonight that we missed Hefty. This is a guy that we'd all been singing about for the last couple of weeks, and we've spent the build up talking about who's going to step in. Would it be Sterling? Would it be young Robbie Fraser? Casemiro comes in out of nowhere, and it's flawless. We're not sitting here, bemoaning Clement's decision. Interesting to see actually the start of the game where he said Casemiro was fitter than Dujon Sterling, given that Sterling's played more games than him. But the manager obviously sees him every day in training. Let's just not fall in love with a lone player, okay? We know how that ends. We know the rules. Let's just keep our feet on the ground and hopefully we get some more performance out of him before now and the end of the season.
Listen, I know all too well. Well, folks, we're on YouTube. We're on 198 likes, which is incredible considering the podcast has only been going for like 35 minutes. So that's us running up to 200. So can we get to 250 likes on the live stream? Let's see if we can do that. And then if we can see if we can somehow get to 300 before the end of the show, I think that'll be the highest ever amount of likes we've had during a live show. So get on that. Ian, don't fall in love with a lone player.
Sorry, can I just jump in on something?
Yeah.
How good is it having a right-sided midfielder? Like a proper right-sided midfielder? How good is that? I mean, how long's it been? We've not spoke about it, but just to have somebody that is meant to play that position, playing that position and doing what a right-sided midfielder does, how good is that?
I know, and I don't even. I mean, who was it? Candias? That's what everyone said in it? Is the last kind of right-sided midfielder that we've had, and I know it's good to have not just one, Mark, but two options at right-sided midfield, which is a big step up for none.
Well, yeah, as I said, for me, it's something that we've went on, and we've spent hundreds and hundreds of podcasts talking about right side of midfield, and the balance. I mean, you looked at that the night. The balance there was we had a threat for the left, we had a threat for the right, and it just makes. And to be fair, it probably covers and masks how bad Tavernier's been, because he was back helping him as well.
He was.
So
he was.
For me, it's absolutely night and day, and it just popped into my head, and I thought I want to say that because I think it's night and day, absolutely night and day.
Oh no, it is. It's amazing what happens when you've got somebody in a position, then it's their position. It's almost as if that actually works, which is crazy. Ian, I want to come to you with a slightly different point. Jordan Rennie with a super chat. Thank you very much, Jordan, on the old YouTube. Desser's assist was testament to how nice a guy he is. Open goal, but thought, nah, I'll give Bayrami his first goal. And then what does Bayrami do, Ian? He tries to pass it back to Dessers. I was screaming at the top of my lungs when Bayrami done that.
Yeah, I mean, I had to keep a lid on it a little bit because the boy was next to me at that point because I was home by then. And as soon as it went through, it was just hit it. And then he squares it back in again. I think Jordan Rennie might be looking at the actual goal itself, what he's talking about there, and being a little bit sarcastic with the fact that Dessers didn't put it in and Bayrami could score. But I think
I'm not
Bayrami,
taking any negativity, Ian, but so as far as I'm concerned, Jordan Rennie's been straight there.
Fair enough. But I think Bayrami's just tried to repay the compliment. I think that's what he's trying to do, and he's not looked when he's played the pass. He's just played it back to where he thinks Dessers is, and the defender's got in and cleared it. But yeah, that was one. We should have just ran onto it, hit it, and put us on easy street before half time.
It really should have. I could see because it was an easy finish for Bayrami, and I'm just looking, going, he's passed that back. I don't believe this. I don't.
See if he hadn't scored his first goal already, he'd have just put his laces through that.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I absolutely think so. And it was actually at that point, Robert, where I was going, no, that's too many missed chances now. No, I'm worried. I was actually starting to get worried, but we were still creating chances.
Because you've seen the movie before, haven't you? At 1-0, no taking chances, and then the other team get a late goal, or even worse, 2 late sucker punches, and you end up with hee-haw. So I'm with you. Like, you need to be a wee bit more ruthless. Let's bear in mind, okay, try and sort of, bring some reality to this performance. We're playing Malmo, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You went there, and the games get harder, a lot harder. You've got Lyon, Olympiacos, Nice, the 2 clubs for the English Premier League. So you've got the chances you're going to get in those games. You've got to try and convert because you won't get, the plethora of chances we've had tonight. So it's about building on that. It's about trying to, obviously, the thing about Dessers, and people are going on about him, he's finishing. He's there, though, the next time he's there. He's there the next time. So I think that's what you want for your striker. We're in a market where we're not going to get the finished article, the the guy that's going to get you 40 goals a season and scoring every competition. He's going to miss chances. The men that went before him have missed chances, but he's been there in their hour of need. He's our man now. So I think you've got to just say that he's going to keep creating. He's obviously striked up a wee bit of a partnership with Bijrami, and we're bemoaning misses here, but I'm sure they'll link up and we will see some fruit from that partnership.
No, but listen, 100% agree with you. And Stuart Prentice with a super chat as well. Thank you very much, Stuart. All the support we've had tonight is greatly appreciated. As most of you know who tune in regularly, I've recently took the podcast full time. So your likes, your shares, your tuning in, it's all needed to keep this going. We're not backed by a media company. We're purely backed by the people who tune in and watch, and we're backed by our members as well. So if you're in a position to do so, and you would like to help support the podcast further, you can do so by joining as a member with the join button below. And if that's not there, in the description, there is a link to memberships. Just going back, Mark, to something that Robert said about not falling in love with loan players. And I said it to Ian there before the super chat came in, but I think it's too late for me.
What one? What one are we talking about?
Casemiro, not Cherny.
I think, well, listen, one game we can't fall in love. Let's give.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. If you love at first sight, Mark.
Well, no, I hear that. But no, I think we'll give them a wee run of games before we fall in love. Let's not get crazy. Let's not go crazy. I did think that as well when I looked at Cherny. As I said, I thought Cherny was good as well. I see a couple of people giving him a bit of stick in the group chats. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. The big fella, I think he looked very solid. He looked as if he was pretty quick. He looked as if he wanted to get forward as well. For me, I would really, really, really like to see him at right back, and I would like to see him run at right back. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Somebody else put in the comments as well. The Dutch Sterling.
Hold on a minute. Can I just throw in a wee situation here? Somebody said there's no option to buy this boy. So what do you do, right? Do you play him at right back all season and just hope that he gives you, charges you towards some sort of trophy and gets you into Europe, and then at that point you've not played Tavernier all season, so you're not going to play him again to start next year? And what do you go out and buy a right back in the summer? It's a difficult one because if you've not got an option on him, all you're doing is making Feyenoord's asset stronger, but obviously weakening your own.
What's the point then in getting a player in on loan?
I think that there's something.
For backup, competition.
I get that. I think that if he comes on and does well, I think there's something that they maybe look at. They sit down and talk to the Feyenoord January time and says, "Look, what's the chances here?" I don't think they'll be too. If they're willing to let him go, they're willing to get. Sorry, Robert. If they're willing to let him go on loan, then I dare say for the right amount of money, they're going to let him go. Especially if he's playing. I know that if he plays well for us, that price goes up and up. But I don't think it's going to be silly. I think that if he plays another maybe 6, 7, 8 games up to January, then there's a conversation to be had there. So if that's the case, then I dare say they'll not be too harsh. I mean, that's the last 3 seasons they've loaned the boy out. So I dare say there's obviously a conversation that can be had then, I would like to think. But, I mean, if he's playing for us, he's there, he's happy, are they going to bring him back to then try and punt him? I don't know.
The point is you've got to be precarious in these situations at the kickoff, because you've seen what happened with Ida. They didn't have a buy-in already written in and they end up getting hammered on the price with the product because they got the player cheaper. So it's just a bit boxed and clever. Somebody said, did him have a complaint and he played well? Absolutely not. I'm trying to get on Martin's horse and ride into the sunset with Casemiro here. Try to keep us all pretty much grounded, okay?
I'm allowed to get carried away.
You always get
somebody carry you away, kid.
No, nobody can carry me. I'm working for him now, so I am getting fatter by the day.
Listen, I get what Robert's saying. I understand that. But like I said, there's surely there's got to be a conversation that can be had. I think that if they've loaned him the last 2 seasons, clearly he's not in anybody's plans there. So whether it go from it's an 800,000 to a 1.5 million, or do you know what I mean? It might vary with that, but I can't see them slapping. We want 4 million for this boy. Do you know what I mean? Even if he has 5, 6, 7, 8 good games, 10 good games, I can't see it being stupid. So I get what you're saying, but with that caution, because you've not really got a leg to stand on. Because if somebody comes in and goes like, do you know what? There's 3 million, then he's gone. But
what we do, Mark, is we buy him and Lennon Miller in January, and then we're sorted. That's it. Game over.
Listen, I think we need 2 strikers in January.
We need
That's
Lennon Miller.
That's a whole other
podcast.
Lennon Miller in January. That's who we need. Can I say a big thank you to Dean Letham for joining as a member? Thank you very much. Your support is greatly appreciated. And the legend of the podcast, who is Fat Windbag Ben, putting in a massive, massive super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. You've done the same on the watch along as well. Your support is amazing. And Ewan Bailey as well has become a YouTube member. So thank you, Ewan, for the support. Thank you, everybody, for the support since I've went full time has been mental, and not just for people who watch, but for all the guys involved with the podcast. They've helped me out no end. I know I annoy them a lot of the time when I throw in with like 20 minutes to go. Anybody available to jump on and do a show for me? I know it annoys them, but they're used to it. They're absolutely used to it by now. Ian Diomande, is that his best game in a Rangers shirt?
It's his best game this season in a Rangers shirt, definitely. Because I think we saw this last season when he first came in. Yeah, definitely tonight we saw the Diomande we want to see week in, week out. Again, he defensively was superb. I thought he covered Tav a hell of a lot. He was in the right place at the right time. He had sort of Glenn Kamara snake hips in the middle of midfield at points as well, turning away from Malmo players. Tonight, I'm not saying he proved he's worth however much, 4 or 5 million pound that we paid for him, but there was the glimpse of why we paid that money for him tonight. Maybe it's European games suit him a lot more than SPFL games. Maybe he's played in the position that suits him more tonight as well, which makes him a better player. I thought overall for the whole game tonight he was absolutely superb. And I know we've made a point on it saying that it was only Malmo, and there's people in the comments saying it was Malmo. That's the first time we've ever beaten Malmo. This team have given us nightmares in the past, and not too long ago either. 3 seasons ago, they knocked us out of the Champions League, and I remember the one before that where they knocked us out of the Champions League again. So it is. I know that, but this is a team that is already smashing their league. They're not far away from ending it. They've won the league already. And they're on a crest of a wave in a minute, and we've gone over to their place and taught them a lesson. So, and Diomande was a massive part of that.
Any away game in Europe is difficult. Any away game is, especially with a team who are 20 odd games into their league season. You know what I mean? And they should have all that gelling together. They know what each other's doing. Apparently, they're a passing team, which we totally negated tonight, and that was down to us. That was nothing to do with Malmo. That was because of how we played. But Mark, I thought Dio's performance was actually better than it looked, considering he got that early yellow card, because he wasn't shirking the tackles.
No, I think he worked really, really hard for the team tonight, and he showed some really nice touches, some really nice glimpses of what he's capable of. I would agree with you. I would think it's his best game this season, and hopefully that's a kind of sign of things to come. I think hopefully that momentum is building with everybody in the team. Yeah, I thought it was very good. As I said, I think pretty much everybody was an 8 out of 10 tonight. Couple of 9s, but everybody I thought was really, really good.
Are you giving Tav an 8 out of 10, Mark?
You've done me there. You've done me. You've done me. You know what? I'll give him a 7. There you are.
That's better than me.
I'll give him a 7. I'll live and die with that 7. No doubt.
Does anybody know how much we get for winning the Europa League?
Not a lot.
Is it something like £300,000? It's somewhere around that figure.
And it's like 1.2 million or something in it for a win in the Champions League.
Aye, it's quite a drop. But listen, it's money in the bank now. You've won the game. I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of writing Europe off. That makes me sound ridiculous. But I wasn't had too much expectation. Obviously, new format as well, so more games. And the draw wasn't massively favourable on paper. But I think we've shown again tonight, as I say, that kind of routine Rangers, I'll call it, where we've turned up, we put in a shift that's more, befitting of something that we expect. Mark's chucking out 8s and 9s, and that's all very good. But I think just as a collective, we're scoring goals, we're creating chances, we're not letting in goals. I think, Ian touches as well. Never beat a Swedish side, ever. And get 6 attempts, never beat one. Done that tonight. So, the manager had said before this game, it was about, we're fighting with history. We went in and rewrote the history books because we've now won against Swedish opposition. We've got we're off to a good start in the Europa League, 3 points. So it's all positive. I don't think you can be too negative.
No, I don't think there's any negativity at all. And we've got another super chat in, and I'll finish up on this from Jordan Rennie. It's actually nothing to do with tonight's game. But when people put in those super chats, their questions definitely get brought up. So what positions need most strengthening in January, do you guys think? I'll start. Not a position, a player. Lennon Miller. Ian.
I think I have to agree with Mark a bit. I think we definitely need a striker, another striker to come in, because I know we've got 3. One's still a young lad trying to get used to being over here, even though he has given us some sort of sparkle since he's been here. Dessers is not a man you can rely on for a full season in that sense. I think we've all kind of know Robert's chucking me a look there, but I think we've all agreed at some point that he's not the man that's going to carry you to a league title. He could prove me wrong, but I still don't think he will. And Danilo at the moment can't be relied on with injury. So I think Mark's right. I think we need another striker to come in.
Robert.
Listen, if it's only one, it's a midfielder for me. I think we need somebody in there.
Who would you pick, Robert?
Listen, I don't want to start casting rumours and names, because that's not the big thing to be doing. But I just think, I said it before before the window shut on one of these podcasts, that we could do with somebody in there with them, Andy and Barron, whoever that may be. We'll see.
Give me one name, just one name, Robert. What name comes to mind?
The name I'll give you is John Gilligan, because he said that there'll be money to spend in January. Which I don't want him in the centre of midfield, by the way. I don't think he's got legs for it, but he said there'll be money for the manager, which is great news. I quite like that yesterday. A bit of synergy with it. How long it lasts, we'll see. But the manager and the new chairman obviously signing off the same hymn sheet. But yeah, I do think the midfield could do with something. I think we're okay up front. Just to come back to I've really gone the other way with Essers. I think I trust him. I do trust him. As I mentioned before, we partnership with Bajrami, and we've got the Moroccan Prince Igmani to come back into the fold too. We've all been salivating over in these wee glimpses. So I think we're okay up there. It's that midfield position for me that just could do with something in there.
Do you know why you give me a name for midfield, Robert?
No, I'll let you do the talking, mate. You run the ship. I'll just lead you in. You just knock out the park.
Mark.
Striker and a 6. 100%. Striker and a 6.
So a number 6 who can maybe alternate between a 6 and an 8, do that kind of job.
For me,
my brains.
We need a 6. We need a ball playing 6.
Right. Who can also alternate into an 8. I'm just trying to rack my brain. I'm just trying to come up with players in my head.
We need a ball playing 6.
I'm pretty
and
sure.
A striker. We need more competition up front. We're one injury to Dessers away for a crisis.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lennon Miller can play.
Look, let's just address the elephant in the room, because Shankland's contract's always going to have 6 months to run in January. People are talking about in the comments, he's not started the season well. Is that the route you're going to go down? Or, you'll have, by that point, Danilo will be back in the fold, and you'll have an idea of what you're going to get from him. But is he going to be another one that's always injured? We've put a massive outlay for this guy, and we all want him to succeed, but could see for the off this season that just, down at Birmingham, he looked miles off it, and then obviously comes out a couple of weeks later that he's carrying another injury. So it's, I don't know. It's one that won't go away for the supporters. Everyone's looking for another goal getter, another striker. People probably haven't, swapped up, sides in terms of the Dessers stuff. Some people still writing them off.
Shankland for me now is just a no-go. An absolute no-go.
If he's on the cheap, and if he's, you are trying to manage your budget, you wouldn't take him.
No. Honestly, I like the way that the manager's doing it. I like the younger players coming in, and I like the way that he's got them playing, and I'm more than happy for us to go down that route. Do I want a 25, 26-year-old player who's experienced and who knows what he's doing and he can help the younger players? Aye. Do I want somebody coming in who's 29, 30, You don't know whether it's going to work or not. He's going to be on a decent wage. No, I don't.
You've just described Robin proper though. He was 31 yesterday or day before. He's going for £4 million.
Yeah.
Why is that different?
Because we've not signed Shankland yet. So.
No, but we've signed. You just said that you don't want a 31-year-old.
No, I don't want that. Centre backs are completely different. Don't get me wrong. Centre backs are a completely different position. Right? I'll give you that. Okay. Like I got Mark earlier.
I'll stop the argument. Martin wants to bring in Lennon Miller and play him up front. That's what he wants to do.
Play him everywhere. 11 Lennon Millers.
Just 11 Lennon Millers. 11 Lennon Millers, and I'm a happy man. I'm an absolute happy man. Jordan Rennie has now also become a member, so thank you very much, Jordan, for the support. And Buffalo Alberts as well. Gentlemen, we shall leave it there for tonight. Ian, you're back tomorrow morning. You're covering me tomorrow for the morning rabble. I'm pretty sure you'll be speaking about a lot of the stuff that we've spoke about tonight. And I just want to say a big, massive thank you to Mark and Robert as well for joining me. Excellent as always, gentlemen. Thank you very much. The super chats have been phenomenal tonight. The amount of new members that we've picked up has been phenomenal as well. So thank you so much for the support. Without that support, then this just doesn't work anymore. So honestly, thank you so much. And a massive win for Rangers. 2-0 away. Comfortable win. We slotted them aside. They shouldn't even have bothered turning up. It was that easy. That's how good we were tonight. So, onwards and upwards, and let's hope it continues. So thank you all for tuning in, folks. And we'll speak to you.
The
poll. Oh, see, I'm not used to it. I'm not used to doing that extra bit of work.
I'll no sleep tonight if I don't know who it was that won it.
Okay, so the four options for man of the match in the poll were Suter, Berame, Dessers, and Casemiro. Suter finished top on 42% of the vote. So he got who I think it was Casa that got man of the match on the watch along, and John Suter gets it on the reaction show. So well done,
both are joining Ian in the morning to get their awards, so that's great.
Absolutely, they'll be sitting in Ian's house. They're on their way to Norwich right now, just as we're all away to our bed. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and we'll speak to you tomorrow morning at 11:30.